want our guys to understand the importance of what it's like to come to the Liberty Bowl and have a little bit of significance and pride and honor with every time we take that field. And I thought the energy and the effort was there today. Good competitive nature. Proud of the way the guys came out. Bunch of different situations, and they handled it well. Right, we got a lot of reps today. It was good. A lot of things to learn from. It wasn't perfect. Some balls on the ground here or there. We continue to stress ball security, and one of those things we got to focus on. And we need the offense to finish drives. We talked about our scrimmage last Saturday. How fast the defense started. Today, the offense started fast, but they weren't able to finish drives, and I think that's got to be one of those things we got to continue to focus on. We got to improve our kicking game, which was an issue for us last year, so that's a little bit concerning for me and all those aspects with that. But pleased with the effort. We only got 5 of these left, and I talk to our team all the time about these opportunities and making the most out of each and every one of them. And, we have to maximize it, and whether it's in the film room or coming out on the field for a scrimmage or a normal Tuesday practice, whatever it looks like, we have to take the approach that these are limited. But, 10 practice in, pleased with the effort, but we got to continue to improve and, keep heading in the right direction. Obviously, since I won't have the opportunity to see the media prior to our spring game, I just want to obviously wish the Grizzlies the best in the last 2 regular season games and best of luck in the playoffs. We're pulling for them.
You mentioned improvement from the last scrimmage to now. Did you see what specifically did improve? Or was it just the offense getting better start?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, right, that's 2 more practices underneath the belt, right? It wasn't like this was a full, couple weeks. This was only 2 more practices and new plays in. Obviously, with this practice being closed to the public, we were able to do a little bit more. We didn't sit there and play vanilla offense or defense. So, but I did think you see a little bit of the chemistry from the offense. Some more guys that got, hey, maybe it was now 3 more hours of work together on the field leading up to today. Obviously makes a difference, more meeting time. And I think what happens is that first scrimmage, Evan, you learn so much from, right? Whether it's, I wouldn't even say jitters, but just the understanding of what does this look like when that's all it is. We're laying down the football and playing ball rather than practice where they know the structure and the routine of it. And so I think the guys learned a lot. They were able to watch themselves in a true game-like situation last Saturday. Now all of a sudden you put that together today, and I think they know how to handle that and the approach. But I was pleased. Look, we saw more guys step up. Like last week, Eddie had a ton of catches, right? Eddie Lewis. This week, Markel Jones was a name that was able to step up. And again, production in those scrimmage, sometimes like the thing I saw that I was most pleased with last week was Javon Ivory's blocking on the perimeter. A lot of our guys continue to impress. Really pleased. I think we got good depth at linebacker. Which was one of those things I was able to flash a little bit today, which is exciting. The cohesiveness of the offensive line we need to continue to build upon. Like I said, I think our quarterbacks, that competition there is alive and well, and excited about it.
Speaking of the quarterbacks, obviously the spring game is going to kind of be a chance for people to kind of see where things are with it. Where do you see this quarterback battle now? Do you expect the spring game to kind of be either a definitive statement, or is it going to be something that obviously continues into the fall?
I think it's going to be one of those things that continues into the fall. I think it's look, if you told me that in fall camp you only got 5 practices and you got to decide, maybe we'd be more of a sense of urgency to name a quarterback right now. But the guys understand that. They realize this is an ongoing deal. Grant's injury is one of those things that actually occurred in between the spring and fall camp and just progressed and got worse in fall camp. So knock on wood, we stay healthy, and we got all capable quarterback bodies and all bodies for that matter on our roster alive and well and healthy for training camp. But look, we still got 5 more practices. Obviously, that's going to be an indicator. I don't want them to sit there and say, okay, hey, the only judge of competition is just going to be the spring game. Yes, that's another thing on the map that we're looking forward to. But I think this is one of those things. Hey, how are they going to handle the downtime in May? What's June and July look for them when they're leading their team when the coaches aren't around? And then training camp. That's a good indicator. But by that time, by training camp gets around, we don't have to have that definitive answer. But, yeah, kind of like last year, maybe halfway through as we get close to that first game, we'll have a better understanding.
And then the linebackers kind of mentioned, we haven't really asked about Tyler and Jeffrey, obviously. How have they kind of been integrating, and how have they been integrating so far?
Yeah, well, let me give credit first and foremost to Zay Collins. Zay has been, the leader of that group. That's, he's played a lot of football here at a high level. And what's unique is Coach Barnes actually points out Zay sometimes. He says, man, you inspire people by the way you play football. And, Tyler and Jeff have played a lot of football, right? And then Tyler's been a long-time starter. Jeff has started some games on the ACC. And I think having those 3 together that are veterans that have played football, that are mature, man, and they've bonded so quickly. And that's unique, right? Sometimes you might sit there and say, well, are these vets going to get along? Are they challenging for playing time? Man, they've been great. They're almost like the Three Musketeers, hanging out and doing things, seeing how they can improve each other, challenge each other, coaching each other. And so really been pleased with that group as a whole. Jeff has continued to understand the way we do things here. Tyler, we're trying him in different positions all over the field. And Zay continues to be the leader of that group.
So off of that, I guess with Jeffrey, have you guys, in your coaching career, have you guys had a player from Canada before?
Other than in the NFL. But in my collegiate career, none that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm just curious because Jeffrey, obviously, his backstory is interesting because obviously he played at Syracuse, but he is from Canada, so it is kind of probably a different experience coming to Memphis, I imagine.
Yeah, we've had international students here. As you guys know, there's been plenty of backstory on some of the players we've had that weren't born in the United States that have played at a high caliber football at Memphis. And you're right, exactly. He was at Syracuse, which maybe seems a little bit closer to the border than all of a sudden Memphis. But, he's jumped right in. He loves it here. And that's what's so unique, right? You got a guy from Canada who's a blue-collar young man that's appreciated the city, appreciated the people, the program. And what I love about him is every time I get, hey, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And he doesn't have to do that because it's, man, a lot of teams wanted him when he was in the transfer portal, and he came here, and he's very grateful and thankful. He appreciates this place, the people, all the fans that have had the opportunity to interact with him. So he's been great. Obviously I try to learn a little bit of French, but it's French Canadian, I guess, if you will, for lack of a better term. I'm sure I'm misspeaking on that. And so that's one of those languages I don't know if I'll be able to pick up before it's all said and done, but maybe I can.
And then for me, the running backs, just kind of obviously we've been talking a lot about them. We saw a little bit of how the backs were looking in the first scrimmage. How are they coming along, and kind of how is that competition looking?
Yeah, it's great. Well, I give credit to Coach Dawkins. Like I told these running backs, this is a new year, and like I told everything, we actually talked about this post-Nashville scrimmage, right? Hey, everybody's on a clean blank slate going into this, and that was especially that running back room because we've had 5 different guys that are in that room start different games for us. So now all of a sudden, hey, by the way, I'm giving you a new coach, so it's a clean blank slate for all of them. So I haven't put any thoughts into Coach Dawkins and said, hey, this is this. No, you go out there and coach them and give your truthful insight on how you see things playing out. And that's been the great thing. Kind of like the linebackers, they're supporting each other, they're working hard, they're teaching each other. I think they like the new approach. Coach Dawkins is really holding them accountable to a high standard because we know what's expected in that room, and that's been a lot of fun to watch. But that competition, those guys, well, I said what I like about competition, it's actually allowing them to continue to get better as a unit, and it's not one of these, man, screw this, screw that. They're, hey, how can we help each other? How can we compete and make each other better?
All right, and last thing for me, with the spring game, obviously there were some guys who held out in the scrimmage saying you didn't want to put them in that situation. Are those guys going to play, or is it still going to be kind of a decision where you decide kind of how to evaluate them and see where it goes? Yeah,
it's, as you guys well know, with the medical staff, I'll meet with them and discuss with our athletic trainers what they feel is best. There'll be some guys that couldn't go today that may be healthy on Tuesday. There may be some guys that we may not get back until after the Easter break and get them a chance. And there'll be some guys that are probably banged up enough where they won't be able to participate the rest of spring. So we're constantly evaluating. We got wonderful medical staff, and it's one of those things, a day by day. But we're encouraging our guys as best to take care of their bodies.
I guess just with that evaluation, is it going to be more? Is it going to affect their evaluation because obviously you won't be able to see them in that format, or is it just going to be a matter of be cautious and then let's see what happens in the fall?
Be cautious, right? I don't ever want to prolong an injury or put a guy in an opportune situation for further risk. And I think that's, as we do that and study that, hey, this thing has a chance to heal and he got a chance to improve himself. Great, let's let that happen. And that's a wonderful thing, right? Spring's a great opportunity. I want our guys to look at spring football like this is the ultimate judge. But reality, look, get healthy. We've got a lot more time and a lot more practice to get ready before our first game.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, guys.